Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am making a ice cream stand in my beach city in Bloxburg. For this ice cream stand, I was inspired by kind of like a lemonade stand, how it's not really like a permanent structure and it's kind of meant to be like moved around or like taken down and set up. One thing I really do wish is that Bloxburg had more ice cream flavors. Right now there's just vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate, but with the new Bloxburg update that is coming out on July 2nd, I'm hoping that they will add some more ice cream flavors, and I'm pretty sure that they might. That's my guess because it will be an update to the pier, so the ice cream shop is right over there, so I'm hoping that they will add more ice cream flavors. I also added that wheel item because I just thought it was so perfect for this stand to kind of look like it could be like wheeled around, and I kind of forgot that it was in the game, but it's like the perfect item for this build. Originally, for the little roof I was going to put on this, I was just going to do kind of like a boring, like basic awning, but then I found the little cone basic shape in the basic shapes catalog, and I was wondering if it would be able to be sized up big enough to be kind of like an ice cream for the roof. And then when it was, I was so excited because I kind of really only build things that are like, I guess maybe more realistic or kind of like basic. Like I built a lot of houses and shops, so kind of being creative with this build was a lot of fun. The ice cream on the roof doesn't make a whole lot of sense just because the one on the roof is like a scoop kind, but the one that's sold at the stand is like a swirl kind, so I could have made the ice cream on the roof a swirl, but I did not have the patience to mess with a bunch of basic shapes to try and get it into a swirl shape. Wasn't sure about trying to find a texture for the ice cream cone part because I didn't think that Bloxburg had one, but honestly, the one that I used is kind of perfect. It's not exactly a waffle cone, but I think it works for the ice cream cone, and I think you can definitely tell that this is supposed to be an ice cream. I also just realized I added a bunch of bowls onto the counter, but these ice creams are all in cones, so there's not really any point to having bowls on the counter. I didn't realize that when I was building, I only just now noticed that editing. But it probably doesn't matter that much, I don't think anyone but me will notice that. For this build and the last build, I did end up making custom decal signs with the names of the stores on them, which I think are just such a cute detail for the builds, which I've never really done for any of my past builds. Like in my Japanese city builds, I never really made custom signs for any of them, only a couple of them, but I think it really adds to the build, so I'm gonna try and make more custom signs for all the stores. I also made this little display to showcase all of the ice cream flavors just kind of on a little stand. Sometimes they do that at stores with like fake foods or like in a bakery display case, so I thought that that would just kind of be something cute to help fill up the counter space that I had. My favorite part of this build was the sprinkles that I added on top of the ice cream. I think it just ties the build in so much, and it was kind of looking plain just being vanilla, so I had so much fun adding in all the sprinkles, although it was a little bit tedious to use all of them. But the beams and rods are probably my favorite things in Bloxburg just because you can kind of do whatever you want with them as long as you have advanced placement, and I do use them pretty much in all of my builds just to add small details to stuff. Before coloring them, though, they do kind of look like ants or like little sesame seeds, but coloring them was kind of a little bit difficult to spread out all the colors. I decided to go for a little like pastel rainbow sprinkles, and those two purple sprinkles that are right next to each other are really bothering me, but it's too late to go back and change it now. I tried really hard to spread out the colors and not have two colors sitting next to each other, but apparently those two purple ones, I completely did not notice that they were touching. And I was so tempted to only add sprinkles onto the front of this build, but I decided to do the back for once. I never do the back of any of my builds, but today I did do the back. Coloring them was a little bit tedious. I need to get better at like coloring things before I place them down because I hate having to go back in and color every single one individually. Also, just for an idea of how long this took me, we're watching this in 6 times sped up speed right now, so it was definitely a lot slower of a process for me to do this. It took me about an hour to build this ice cream stand, which isn't that bad because some of my builds definitely take longer, but a lot of the time was probably spent coloring sprinkles. But after coloring all these sprinkles, my favorite part was adding the little cherry on top. The little ice creams on the counter all had cherries on top, and I felt like this one was kind of missing something, so I figured a cherry was the perfect touch just to add on top. And I like how the cherry adds height to the build. Also, it's red, and I pretty much never use reds in my builds. Even when I'm using all these rainbow colors, I usually replace the red with pink just because I prefer pink to red. So this is probably like the only build on this plot that actually has red in it right now. And I also use rods to add the little cherry stem on the top, which I think is the perfect little detail and actually makes it look like a cherry and not just like a clown nose on my ice cream. I also went in and made the ice cream stand itself rainbow just to match the sprinkles. And as you can see, I replaced the red in the rainbow with the pink. Also, I made a little sign for this ice cream stand, which I thought was so cute, and I think I'm getting better at it. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it!